we go. Come on, come on. Let's have it. Let's have it. Not out. Third slip. Your third party has dropped the ball. It could have been so different. Rewind. Right, here we go. Come on, come on. Let's have it. Let's have it. Out. Your third slip, your third party did their job. You're on the winning team. Come and join me and the rest of the winning team at tonight's event. It's the 11th GRC Supper Club in the last 3 years, and we're here at the Kia Oval. We have some great speakers for you tonight. We have Fayaz Chima from Vodafone, Head of IT Assurance globally. We have Lana Abdullayev from Lloyds Bank. And we also have Ray Bricknell from Beyond Every Cloud. It's going to be a fantastic evening. Come and join me. We're here in the Montpellier Club for tonight's event, and I forgot to mention, it's Chattermouse rule. So we're not going to be telling a dicky bird. Welcome to the Kia Oval with your MC for the evening, Dicky Bird. We have on the line the first chapter from Amsterdam. This is our Dutch GRC Supper Club tonight. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our three speakers for the evening. And before I do that, I just wanted to mention, if you haven't been before, the structure is we will have a speaker, then we'll have a starter, then we'll have another speaker, then a main course, then another speaker, and then we'll have dessert. And the aim of those speakers is to drive conversation throughout the course that follows, and hopefully generate a few questions for you all to learn from each other, people that have been through specific things around third-party projects. Danny we have in the corner. So Danny Burgess is our in-house illustrator. So anyone that wasn't at the last event, Danny illustrates what we talk about. So none of us have to take minutes. As I mentioned, we've got three speakers. We have Ray Bricknell here, who's to my right, and he is from the MD from Behind Every Cloud. He's got 37 years of experience spanning operational level and specialized infrastructure. He has spent the last 10 years focused on UK alternative finance space. Recent focus has been on the commercial implications of outsourcing, managed services, and the cloud, assisting London financial firms to quantitatively differentiate between providers based on the underlying quality of their offerings. We also have Lana Abdullayev to my left here on the table here, who is, am I allowed to say, Lloyds Bank? And also a non-executive member of the MLROs.com, of which David is in the room over there, who runs the MLROs.com. Lana is a mathematician by training and has been in banking and financial services since 1997. So she's still only 25. And works in open banking and PSD2. Prior to Lloyds Banking Group, she worked for Experian, where she led the development of data-driven client solutions. We also have, hopefully, Fayaz Chima, who will be joining us, who is the Global Head of IT Assurance and Cybersecurity for Vodafone. So hopefully we'll be able to generate some interesting topics across the evening. And I believe I'm going to hand over to you, Ray, if that's okay. So please welcome Ray Bricknell to the stand.
Thank you very much. I'm here all night. What a great place for an Aussie. I'm surprised I'm even allowed in. But the way things are going for us in cricket at the moment, it's probably just so you can all take the mick out of us. But my goal tonight, in terms of stimulating your conversations, is to try and get you thinking about the implications of particularly IT vendor selection and how you go about mitigating risk when you're looking at particularly outsourcing and private cloud, but also how that changes and how substantially that changes when you move into what I call public cloud. I often say, when was the last time you walked down to your internal IT department and you said, how many servers are we running? And they said, we're not telling you. And you said, okay, and how do you manage high availability to make sure that stuff doesn't fail? And they said, well, we're not telling you. Yeah. So transparency is the number one thing when you're outsourcing to a model where you are putting all your eggs in somebody else's basket. Okay. And that if there's one new risk in the cloud model, it's that you no longer have complete control of that cost model. Okay. £400 million vendor went broke overnight in the UK about 4 years ago. I was doing some consulting to Blue Bay Asset Management at the time, 60 billion AUM fund. They got a letter on the Friday saying, give us £10,000 now or your service that you buy from us is turned off, okay, from the liquidator, right? So that's real and that can happen. And so a lot of the risks around governance and risk management in IT service provision are actually more commercial. The thing that I think fundamentally changes about public cloud, the first thing you'll observe is you can't do due diligence on Microsoft Azure or Amazon Web Services.
I also happen to talk to specific niche data providers who could tell me a little bit more about business population of UK, perhaps some hidden risk of the trading activities or hidden risk of ownership or related parties. And I would like to buy that data source. And then GDPR comes to place. How that data got collected? Is there consent to use? Is that legitimate? Can I only sell it to financial services firms who are regulated and therefore it's legitimate interest to do the compliance for KYC? Or that could extend to telcos because those telcos have chosen to be a good citizenship and do a high due diligence for their customers, not to allow any sanction prohibited or any potential high-risk money launderer to use their services. Can I or can I not? Right? Financial crime is a social issue, it's not a commercial issue. I would like to do it. I would like to give the small and new entrants to financial services world to not be weak chain in the UK financial services ecosystem. I would like to help them to succeed with offering the core services for legitimate customers, for genuine customers, but to close the door for criminals. Can I do or not? It is very gray area. And what you really have to do, you have to get to do due diligence with the data providers of those assets and be very clear what you're using it for. And by no way you can then resell that data assets to do any marketing or any product offering on behalf of your clients.
So, 27th of June, I received the following email. Data security incident by third-party supplier. That's the email. On Saturday, June the 23rd, Ticketmaster UK identified malicious software on its customer support product hosted by Better Technologies. You'll hear this a lot in the email, the blame on the other party. An external third-party supplier to Ticketmaster. As soon as we discovered the malicious code, we disabled the Better product. As a result of Better's product running on the Ticketmaster website, some of our customers' personal and payment information, okay, we'll explore that in a minute, may have been accessed by an unknown third party. We contacted you because you purchased or attempted to purchase tickets between blah, 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 and you may have been infected by Better's incident. Forensic teams and security experts are working around the clock. Oh, this sounds quite serious now, doesn't it? Round the clock, right? And to understand how the data was compromised. We're working with the Information Commission Officer, as well as credit card companies, banks, and relevant authorities. So that's a real-life example. A follow-on. This is the day before yesterday. This is my daughter on WhatsApp. Dad, is this dodgy? So the things that came into my mind when I read that was, did I give consent to this third party to access my data? Yeah, who is this Better? I'm sure I didn't interact with them. How's the third party got my payment details potentially? Yeah, I hope they've encrypted my credit card. So these are thoughts going through my mind from Ticketmaster. I hope they've I hope they've hashed my passwords, because I don't know what, it sounds quite serious. And what encryption levels do they have across their organization? So then what I looked at was Embeta. Who is this Embeta organization? Interestingly, and you can Google it, there's hardly anything about their data breach. Yeah, there's nothing, yeah, in news terms across the instance about them having a data breach. Right? So I found an article in The Guardian, which basically says, so Embeta basically put a chat bot, and what they do is they put a bot and do analytics on a bot on websites to basically look at behavioral aspects of how people are kind of like using websites, and they're a supplier to Ticketmaster. So in this website, Embeta basically say, in The Guardian, they basically say, we developed some custom Java codes and scripts for Ticketmaster, and there was a specific Java script that they asked us to do. If we'd known they were going to put it onto a payment site, we would have advised them not to do that, because there would be security breaches. So overall, I would kind of like finish by saying there's technical stuff that our organizations need to do to stay on top of their suppliers, but there's also kind of like an awareness and culture as well. So, how do we instill in our suppliers the culture of, we're going to be kind of like ongoing monitoring you in terms of the effectiveness of your cybersecurity controls. We're going to be running we're going to have the right to audit, and we are actually going to go off and do pen tests of your environments. So they get the expectation from a security perspective that they need to be on top of their environment in order to do business with us.
The stumps are up. The stumps are up. We're all out. We're all out. But thank you very much. Thank you very much.